Good morning and namaste to all of you. Let's start our Wednesday class with some prayers. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parbrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhu Bhavaswaha Tatsavitra Varenayam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yo Naha Prachodayat Asto Ma Sadgamya Tamso Ma Jyotirgamya Mrityurma Amritam Gamya Om Sehna Bhavatu Sehna Bhunaktu Saviryam Karvave Tejasvi Navadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Om Shanti 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 Om. Last Wednesday, we talked about Pranayam. We learned that how mind and body, how they are interconnected by this complex, vibrant system of inner energy, which is sustained by the ebb and flow of the breath. So energy, breath, life, they are all related. And practices that make us conscious of this system constitute a science which is called Pranayam. It's definitely a vast and intriguing branch of yoga in which our innate vital energy is brought to awareness. Because we are breathing all the time, but we are become more aware of it when we do pranayama. And gradually we learn how to regulate this energy and integrate it into the practice of concentration. So when we combine concentration with it, we can really do a very deep meditation also. That's why this pranayama is a part of Hatha Yoga, because it helps our body, and it's a part of Raj Yoga also, because it helps our mind also. And mind we need to clean also, we need to learn how to focus our mind too. So that's why I said an integral part of the concentration is this pranayama. But before we do pranayama for the body, what do? We clean our nasal passage, which is called neti kriya. With warm water, with little salt in it, we clean that area. The same way, it will help our mind only if the mind is clean. And that's why Rishi Patanjali, in the ladder of Raj Yoga, he said, follow the ahimsa, satya, all those qualities we need to cultivate so that our mind is clean also. So pranayam is the yogic science of balancing and regulating vital energy through a very skillful manipulation of breath. And these techniques expand our energy, and ultimately they lead to vibrant health and also realization of the spiritual world. So consciously we prolong our inhalation, we retain the breath, and we exhale also. So these are the three things we do during pranayama. So the result of that is it develops a steady mind, strong willpower, and also a sound judgment. Those are all the benefits of doing the pranayama. That's why they say pranayama is the heart of the yoga. Or some people say yoga is lifeless without pranayama. Low energy levels, shortness of breath, anxiety, stress, poor concentration are just some of the resulting symptoms of poor breathing habits. Okay. We all know from our science classes the normal tempo of breath is slow. On average, the heart beats about 70 times in a minute. But we breathe just 16 times on the average. Yet these 16 breaths mean that the lungs expand and contract over 20,000 times a day, consuming about 35 pounds of air. That is like 6 times the weight of our daily intake of food and liquids. But this rate of breathing varies throughout the day. After a vigorous exercise, it may increase to well over 30 breaths per minute. And during meditation, it may slow to as little as 5 or fewer. We use our, not just the lungs, but the diaphragm. Because relaxed diaphragmatic breathing is called a yogic breathing. Last time we talked about it's a very powerful to restore our nervous system, coordination, and harmony. That's how the inner tension softens. Our mind becomes calm. During pranayam practices, breath is used to cleanse, calm, and strengthen our nervous system. So during pranayam, we do that. We inhale, exhale, hold the breath purposely. We manipulate it. But during the rest of the day, our breathing should be a good breath. How do we know whether we are breathing good or not? 5 basic qualities of a good breath. It should be deep. Okay? Not just only during pranayam, otherwise also. Pay attention. Deep. That means not shallow. It should be smooth. That means not jerky. It should be even. Exhalation, inhalation should be equal length. During pranayam, we manipulate, but otherwise, the rest of the day, it should be even. There should not be any sound. That means not noisy. And without pause. Unbroken transitions from breath to breath. These are the 5 basic qualities of good breathing. Each exhalation feels relaxing. Each inhalation feels nourishing. Because when breath flows in, it carries energy along with it. It revitalizes the body and mind. When the breath flows out, it gathers the waste that the blood has brought to the lungs and takes it away. So both inhalation and exhalation are very important. Yogis, they call this nasal area Sapt Patha. Sapt means 7. So because there's a confluence of 7 openings there. 2 nostrils, 2 tear ducts, 2 eustachian tubes, our ears, and the pharynx, the upper throat. Very important part. In fact, all our senses, most of our senses are up there too. So that's why it's so important to do the neti kriya before we do the pranayama. Because often we think that, yeah, which one we should do first? First neti kriya. And we talk about it from time to time. And if you look at the chart of Hatha Yoga, there are 6 cleansings. And among those 6 cleansings, the very first one is neti, where we clean our nose, the backside of your nasal passage, and our throat. Wash it before you do the pranayama. Before the class, I was telling you something I heard from Guruji's lectures, in fact, this morning, because we often want to learn, we want to listen, we want to read, we want to hear. He said, janne se gyan. So when we know something, sure, we have the knowledge. But that knowledge is not enough. So in his lecture, he said, karne se labh. If we want to get the benefit, then we got to practice also. It's not only for the neti kriya of the pranayama, otherwise also, we all know we should tell the truth. We have the knowledge of it, but do we practice it? We should not hurt anybody, whether it's physically or verbally or with our thoughts. Do we do that? So the real benefit is only when we practice. So it goes for the physical exercises also, for the mental also. To a yogi, there are two main functions of proper breathing: to bring more oxygen to the blood and then to the brain. And second is to control prana or vital energy, leading to control the mind. A yoga abhyasi understands that physical body is very important. It's a vehicle, but ultimately yoga is about the mind. I want to calm my mind. I want to clean my mind, because body is going to be left behind after this span of life. But mind is the vehicle through which I'll be traveling afterwards. So I want to make sure that's clean also. That's in my control also. And you all know there are three basic types of breathing: shallow, middle, and deep. Shallow is called clavicular. It's like a neck muscles. Mainly only the top portion of the lungs get activated. Intercostal is middle. That is a name for that. And abdominal is deep. Okay. So not just the top, but not only the middle, but even the lower portion of the lungs. So a full yogic breath combines all three: shallow, middle, deep. Breathing correctly means breathing through the nose, guys. Keeping the mouth closed. It involves a full inhalation and exhalation. When you exhale, abdomen contracts and diaphragm moves up, and it massages the heart. This is what's happening inside you. And when you inhale, the abdomen expands. The diaphragm moves down, massaging the abdominal organs. That's why both inhalation and exhalation are very important part of our breathing. In the yogic terminology, inhalation is called purak. Retention is called kumbhak. And exhalation is called rechak. People often think that inhalation is the most essential stage of breathing. But for a yogi, exhalation holds the key to a good breath. Because the more stale air you can exhale, the more fresh air you can inhale. And even the kumbhak also, the longer kumbhak, without hurting yourself, you got to pay attention what's happening during kumbhak also. So from the yogic point of view, the overriding reason for breathing nasally is prana. Prana. Because the back of the nose lie the olfactory organs through which pran passes to reach the central nervous system. Okay, so remember that inhalation, holding, exhalation from the nose, paying attention what is happening internally to the diaphragm also, to the lungs also, to the abdominal muscles also. So the yogic breathing exercises teach us how to control the pran, how to control the mind beautifully. There are in a Hatha Yoga system 10 main pranayams. Then sure, there are bifurcations also, there are variations also, but I'm going to go through 10 pranayams according to Hatha Yoga. And this is mentioned in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Gherand Samhita, Shiv Samhita, Yoga Chudamani Upanishad. These are all ancient yogic texts. Okay, so I'm not talking about the modern language over here. It's only these original textbooks, what they talked about. The very first one, Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam has 3 parts, Purak, Kumbhak, and Rechak. When we start out, we should do it 6 times. That means 3 full rounds. So 6 holdings. Nadi is a tubular organ for the passage of prana. Energy is being carried, and through that energy, you can feel your subtle body, causal body, and help your physical body. Shuddhi means cleansing, purifying. So Nadi Shuddhi. So those tubular channels you're trying to clean, because that's where the prana is moving and it's being absorbed. So term Nadi Shuddhi means the purification of the nerves. If you not use the scientific terminology. But Nadi is in the yogic terminology, it's called Nadi, not the nerves. So how do we do it? We close one side, and normally we start with the right side close. Breathe in from the left, then hold that breath in, then breathe out from the opposite side. So left inhalation, so Purak from the left, Kumbhak while holding both the sides, and Rechak from the right. Then second time around, you inhale from the right, hold the breath, and exhale from the left. Okay, so this is one round. One round has 2 kumbhaks in there. Inhalation should be quick in Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. See, like this, quick. And exhalation should be twice as long. That's the ratio. So if it takes you 3 seconds to inhale quickly, make sure you exhale for 6 seconds, count of this. But if you are inhaling for the count of 2, exhale, count of 4. No competition with others. You look at your own, what makes you feel comfortable. Because after doing the pranayam, you should look at your eyes. If they get red, if there is a dryness in your mouth, that means you have overdone it. Always look at your eyes after your pranayam practice. Okay, you don't want to strain your eye muscles. Blood receives a larger supply of oxygen when we do this Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. nerves get calmed, purified, mind becomes still and lucid. So after inhalation, you are doing the holding. So how long should you hold? Initially, just hold only as much as you have inhaled for, or maybe exhaled for. So if it takes you 3 seconds to inhale, or the count of 3, hold it for 3 only. But gradually increase the kumbhak, increase the holding up to 4 times of your inhalation. Okay, everybody has a different capacity. So you got to increase your capacity. So the proper ratio in a Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama for the inhalation, hold, and exhalation is 1, 4, and 2. Okay. As I said earlier, a lot of teachers, modern teachers, they have gotten many, many variations of it, but I'm teaching you from the ancient textbooks. When you inhale, make sure your attention stays towards your breath. You feel the expansion in your lungs, feel the expansion in your abdomen also. When you exhale, stomach goes in. Squeeze it in. Okay? So Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. Most of the people in this class, you are familiar with this. Okay? So it can be done by anybody. No side effect of it. Because sometimes people say, no, I have a high blood pressure. I have a heart condition. Still you can do it, just don't hold too long. Hold it little less, but inhalation, exhalation, you should practice on it. Make sure that full control over the exhalation. Because normally what happens, when you're holding your breath in, very quickly you breathe out. So having more control over your exhalation. Okay? So Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. The second one is called Surya Bhed Kumbhak Pranayama. There are countless nadis in our body. Out of those countless nadis, there are 3 main nadis. They are alongside our spine. They are called Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. The left side is Ida, the right side is Pingala. Surya Bhed Kumbhak is when you inhale from the right, which is Pingala. Pingala nadi will get affected. Hold that breath in and exhale from the other side. How long you should hold? As long as you can. Because this is little advanced pranayama. See, Nadi Shuddhi, that's where we start. But then we add this also, Surya Bhed Kumbhak Pranayama. This Surya Bhed Kumbhak, when we do it, we concentrate in our navel area, the Manipur chakra. This increases the heat in our body. And this helps in our cold, cough, phlegm, etc. Surya Bhed Kumbhak. Surya means the sun. Bhed means to pass through, to pierce. That's how the lungs absorb more energy from your breath. So very deep inhalation, very deep exhalation. So you keep on repeating that. From the right, inhale, from the left, exhale. Next time around, right inhale, left exhale. Okay, got it? So Surya Bhed Kumbhak. So this increases heat in the body. In fact, your digestive system becomes better. It soothes and invigorates the nerves and cleanses the sinuses. And it is good for people suffering from low blood pressure. Low blood pressure. Okay, Surya Bhed Kumbhak. And there is a B part to this. This is second pranayama, which is called Chandra Bhed Pranayama. The moon side is the left side. So you breathe in from the left breathe out from the right. That will cool down your system. And this is good for a person with a high blood pressure. Okay. So if you have a high blood pressure, do the Chandra Bhed Kumbhak Pranayam. If you have a low blood pressure, Surya Bhed Kumbhak Pranayam. If you have cold extremities, do the Surya Bhed Kumbhak Pranayam. If you are having some hot flashes, do the Chandra Bhed Kumbhak Pranayam. This is how the body just adjusts with the proper breathing. You're helping your body. This whole apparatus works better for you. Third one is called Ujjayi Pranayam. In Ujjayi Pranayam, you inhale from the nose, hold that breath in the mouth. The same time you squeeze your stomach in. Do a little Jalandhar Bandh. I don't know whether you're familiar with the bandhs or not. Jalandhar Bandh is when we just constrict our throat area like this. Then do a Kumbhak. Then exhale from the nose again. But when you exhale, you are making a little sound. It's almost like people call it an ocean breath. So it's just a very soft, whispering breath. It's called a Ujjayi Pranayam. See, Ud means upward. Jai means success. So you feel that your body is lifting up when you do this Ujjayi Pranayam. Lungs do expand fully. You feel that there is happening something in the chest and in the throat also. This pranayam aerates the lungs, soothes and tones the nervous system, reduces the phlegm. And they say even the voice becomes melodious, a person who does this pranayam regularly. It is helpful in the treatment of tonsils also, sore throat, chronic cold, bronchitis, asthma, this Ujjayi Pranayam. Or any other kind of a throat ailments. And this soothing exhalation, that is like a very flow of air which is going out very soothly from you, relieves the anxiety also, soothes your nerves. So, or you can say that calms the nervous system. Okay. And the next pranayama is a Shitali Pranayam. As the name says, Shitali means cooling. So inhale, this pranayam, you inhale through the mouth with your rolled tongue, fill the lungs completely, exhale through the nose. So it's like you roll your tongue like this and inhale. Then do the Kumbhak as long as you can. Exhale from the nose. So it cools the system, soothes the eyes and the ears. Some people complain about a low level of fever. It helps in that also. This pranayam activates our liver, spleen, again improves the digestive system and relieves the thirst also. Okay, so Shitali Pranayam. Next one is called Bhasrika Pranayam. You are familiar with this also. Often we do Bhasrika before we do Nadi Shuddhi in our classes. Bhasrika means the bellows. Air is forcibly drawn in and out as if using a pair of bellows. In most of the pranayams, the inhalation sets the pace or the pattern or the rhythm for exhalation. But in Bhasrika, the exhalation sets the force and the pace. Both out and in breaths are vigorous and forceful. And the sound is like that made by the blacksmith's bellows. So it goes like this. I mean, you can see that if our nasal passage is clean, only then we can do it this way. Otherwise, there's an obstruction. And every exhalation, there's a stomach goes in. Every inhalation, it comes out. Automatically, it happens when you do it consciously first. Then it just happens like that. Okay. Nostrils are kept open throughout in Bhasrika. You remember in Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam, you closed one nostril at a time. Bhasrika activates and invigorates the liver, spleen, pancreas, abdominal muscles, improves digestion, because very forcefully you are just moving your stomach in and out, drains the sinuses. Or if you have a runny nose, you will see this will relieve that. Do not do this Bhasrika, especially very fast if you have a high blood pressure or if you have any retina problem or any severe eye or ear complaint, then go to your doctor first. Okay, you can do it very mild Bhasrika, but not the way I did it right now. Okay, so you can go like this, but not like this. Okay, so mild can be done, but not very fast. If there's a bleeding from the nose, pay attention why it's bleeding, then don't do Bhasrika. If there's an ache in the ear after doing this, pay attention. Talk to your doctor. Next pranayama, the sixth one is Brahmari Kumbhak Pranayama. Brahmari means a black bumblebee. So that's why this pranayama is called Brahmari, because during exhalation, you make a soft humming sound like a bumblebee. And best time to perform this pranayama is in the silence and the quietness of the night. This can be done right before sleeping, because most of the pranayams, you don't want to do it before sleeping. This one really puts you to sleep. You can do it sitting down or even lying down. Other pranayams, you do it sitting up. This one, you can do it lying down also. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation with a humming sound. Initially, if you want to just suggest your senses to close down, you can put your thumbs in the ear holes, forefinger and the middle finger to close your eyes, ring finger to close your nostrils, and your pinky, just put it on top of your lips also. So this way you are just telling all your senses to go inward, like a pratyahar, and a slow, steady rhythm and a subtle breathing. So you inhale, and when you exhale, make a humming sound, bumblebee sound. Good for the people who cannot sleep, like who are suffering from insomnia, because it really soothes the mind. It's really good for the people suffering with a high blood pressure, hypertension, or even short temper. It brings the anger down. Brahmari Kumbhak Pranayama. So after inhalation, you do the Kumbhak. Then you, with the sound of a bumblebee, you exhale. And that sound is from the throat. Mouth is closed. So exhalation is from the nostril. Because often people say that, hey, how can I make a sound? That sound is not, it cannot be, it's hardly heard by other people. It's just like inside you are feeling that vibration. Okay. Another pranayam, number 7, is Murcha Kumbhak Pranayam. Murcha means a state of swoon. It makes the mind inactive. It really brings a tranquility in your mind. This pranayam involves a prolonged full pause with the chin lock, which is called Jalandhar Bandh. You inhale, bring the chin down, concentrate on the bhrikuti during your kumbhak, and exhale softly. So inhale deeply, Jalandhar Bandh, concentrate here as long as you can, and exhale. Okay? So Murcha Kumbhak. This can be done right before your meditation. You're calming your mind, calming your nerves. Number 8 is called Sheetkari Pranayam. Benefits of Sheetkari is just like that Sheetli Pranayam we talked about. Because in the Sheetli Pranayam, you're supposed to roll the tongue. But a lot of people cannot roll their tongues. That's how their tongue is. So yogis, they understood that. They said, hey, you can do Sheetkari Pranayam. Just close your mouth, the teeth, put your tongue right behind your teeth, and then breathe in from your mouth. Close your mouth, do the kumbhak. Then after a while, exhale from the nose. Okay, so if you can do Sheetli, that's okay. But if you cannot do Sheetli, cannot roll your tongue, do Sheetkari. Benefits are the same. So the tip of the tongue protrudes only slightly, but it is kept flat. Remember that. You feel that coolness in your mouth when you breathe like this. Okay. Cools the system, soothes the eyes and the ears, beneficial in the case of low blood pressure, just like in the Sheetkari, improves digestions, activates the liver and spleen. The 9th pranayam mentioned in those ancient textbooks is Palavani Kumbhak Pranayam. Palav means swimming or floating. Floating on the water becomes easy because you're holding into kumbhak a long time. And this is normally done in the water. So I'm sure you are not going to practice it. So just remember the name that, hey, yogis, because their huts were always close to the rivers and the lakes. And they did do meditations in the water also.
How do you spell it, Hershji?
Plawani, Palavani. Palavani Kumbhak. Okay. Palav means swimming or floating. And the 10th pranayam is Kevali Pranayam. Kevali, Kevali. Yogis, advanced yogis, they practice this 24 hours a day. They keep their, see, just like we say that with every breath we should remember God. And that's what they do. They don't want to lose a moment when they don't remember God. When they breathe in, they say hum. When they breathe out, they say sir. So that's why this pranayam is called Hansa Pranayam too. Or it's called a Ajapa mantra. You have practiced so much. Your body is functioning in the outer world, but your prana is constantly in tune with your mantra. When you're doing it sitting down, make sure that your back is straight. Your attention is starts from the bhrikuti, and it can go towards the down towards the spine and then come up again. So you can do it sitting down or before your meditation, you can do it. Yogis, they say, yatra pranaha liyante, tatra mana liyate. So man and pran, they are so connected. So this is good for the heart, lungs. Our practice helps us to remember that our original nature is soul. That's who we are. We are perfect. We are part of that infinite. We are Atma. That's why it's called Soham. This Hansaha, initially we start with the Hansaha, but when it becomes a garland, it becomes Soham. See, Hamsa, Soham. It's the same thing. Okay. So these are the 10 pranayams. Aside from maintaining basic life functions, the breath is one of our most powerful tools for transforming ourselves. That's why it's called soul of yoga. We want to transform ourselves. Sure, pranayam will help us burn our toxins. It will help us release our stored emotions. It even changes our body structure. It helps every which way. And another thing, if you pay attention, air is the most quickly distributed element in the body. Like a food, it takes hours and sometimes days to take the effect. But each inhalation of air immediately enters our bloodstream. Pay attention to that. Without breath, we cannot speak because this is the air, is the force behind our voice. Our brain could not think. Our food cannot metabolize without oxygen. Breathing is a grossly underestimated source of life-giving, healing and purifying energy. But the yogis talk about it. That's why they made this system. To get rid of the ailments also, to help ourselves, so many different ways to pranayama. Unfortunately, average person does not follow this. Even small ailments we can take care of with this breathing. Anytime you have a headache, try this. Breathe from left while closing your right nostril. For 5 minutes, you still have your medicines. You can take your medicines afterwards, but first try the breathing. So breathe from left and in from left and out from left. Keep your right closed. And if you feel tired, do the opposite. Breathe from the right side for 5 minutes. This will refresh your mind. But make sure that you are sitting straight. Your body is relaxed. And do not bend your head forward. Keep your head up. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Bring your attention inward. See what's really happening. If you're nervous, anxious, you can always try that. Lengthen your exhalation twice as much as inhalation. You will see that immediately you will feel relaxation. I'm sure you're pretty relaxed right now, but let's try this. I want you to just breathe in from both the nostrils, hands down. And when I say breathe in, and I'm going to count, keep on breathing in. When I say breathe out, you keep on breathing out until I tell you to stop. Okay? So just sit straight, totally relaxed, close your eyes, because we always listen to our breath when we do pranayam. That's why eyes just get closed automatically. Okay. So, and feel that when you breathe in, think that air is going sure from the nose, but first filling up your stomach, then it's filling up all the way up. When you breathe out from top down. Okay, so inhalation from bottom up, exhalation from top down. Okay, let's do that. So breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's like a breathing out twice as long as breathing in. This is called 2-to-1 breathing. So, and this really calms you down. Let's do a couple of more times. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wasn't that difficult, right? Okay, do it again. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so try these at your own capacity on a daily basis. It's not only once in a while, because you will see that if you bring this into practice, daily practice, whenever there's a little any ailment, you will know what to do right away. You won't panic. With your breathing, you can enjoy the good physical health, and you can enjoy your calm mind also. Only then we are considered completely healthy. Physically, body should function properly, and the mind should stay peaceful and calm. So let's stop it here, and if you have any questions, we can go through it. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Visheshyate. Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you very much.